Invented here, balancing unique software needs versus out-of-box perfect generic solution. My name is Dror Beryl, and I'm an independent consultant. These are some of the places I studied, teach, working, including University of Washington, the Fred Hutch Cancer Center, Click Industry, and recently Pharma of all sizes. Shiny dashboard apps. I love them. I do it forever, and they come in all shapes and colors. And sometimes they so many of them that we get lost and not sure how to better manage it. The outline of my talk is introducing this problem of having too many ad hoc shiny apps, so many shiny modules. Where should they all live? A solution? Teal by the Pharmaverse ecosystem. Imagine you have a great recipe for a cupcake. You have top ingredients and you want to ship it in multiple colors and flavors to your analytics consumers. So you design a pipeline that is perfect for this job. However, sometimes reality does not look like that, and you may still end up with something messy like this. A successful analytic application are built on top of three interconnected components: data foundation, modular analytics, and deployment platform. Back to our app shop analogy. Recipes. These are functions, modules, project agnostic that capture our unique analytic pipeline. The ingredients. These are the datasets, and along with parameters, values, YAML, which are usually project specific. And where the magic happens at the kitchen. That's where we take the recipes and the ingredients and initiate it together under an envelope, or what I would call here a meta UI. Our datasets, they are carefully captured, collected, and usually they're not just standalone. They also capture relationship between the different datasets that we wish to preserve and maintain in our dashboard. Filter records. Sometimes we want to filter specific records one at a time, and other times all together on top of each other. Slice and dice our records. Imagine if we have a tool for each type of slicing that is need to be done with the dataset. But instead of having multiple independent tools, what if we want all of them all together? Our recipes. How convenient it is when we go to a restaurant, we know what we want and we know what is available. So all we do is pick and match from a menus that have already been crafted for our most basic needs. And if you don't like this flavor, this brand, you could pick another one. And if you don't even care about the brand, you just want the generic combo, you could just pick that. In clinical trials, data, that's usually deliverables, are tables, figure, listings. And what if you think that you have very specific needs for your recipes? For example, dairy free. So that's fine. You design your recipes to be on that need. And what if you still want even more freedom of customization? That's fine as well. You could have recipes that allow that customization as needed. Our customers, they are hungry and eager to consume our analytics insights. So we need to keep in mind that customers also have different style to consume our dashboard and use it. We need to be tuned for these specific needs. And finally, the kitchen. Some kitchen are very specific for our needs. They have very specific functions. Sometimes we don't even care about the function. We just want it to be pop-up ready when the data is available in fast uh, deployment. And sometimes our kitchen have very specific uh, specifications. However, no matter what type of kitchen we need, any software will creep at some point. So at the end of the day, even when we start to work systematically with Clean Kitchen, we may still end up by a mess. So how to avoid scope creep? Welcome shiny modules. What is a module? A module is a pair of UI, server, and function. On the left side, we have the traditional Shiny module with UI and server, and we call them together in a Shiny app UI server. On the right side, we have a module, which is a wrapper, a function around this exact same components that we have on the traditional way. Same thing for the server. We wrap it into a function with some ID. And we connect them together by calling those functions and linking them around this ID namespace. So why reuse modules? They develop independently of hosting app. They update modified UI and server separately. We can test each module in isolation, and we could leverage module catalog, our recipes. With modular design, we achieve reusability, rapid deployment, and unified experience. The module first app philosophy. We know that every analytic code should live in a function. We also know that functions should live in packages. Packages we could deploy and make accessible via dashboards or specifically Shiny apps. We introduced the Shiny modules, which are pairs of server and UI. And this is where I think unique for the module first app philosophy, saying that those analytic codes living in function, living in package, delivered as dashboards and isolated as Shiny modules should all live in a meta UI, an envelope layer to run multiple modules. If you think about bslib package, that's not what I refer to as a meta UI. While bslib is great for declarative layout, running theming, what I'm looking for in a meta UI is the dynamic module dispatch, config-driven composition, the model registry awareness, and user control panel composition. We'll see some example next. So even with modules, would scope still creep? Are we protected? Well, depends on the meta UI. Because keep in mind, when we have long list of desired features, so on top of our modules and on top of our meta UI, we want to keep more features, such as not just single data set, but multiple linked data set that preserve subject level and record level. We want to have our cross-module centralized filter as a feature. So we keep features. Instead of module on a single dataset, we want a module that can handle multiple datasets and preserve the unique linked datasets and be accessible to the global filter. And we keep adding features such as logging, reproducible code logic, meta programming, deliverable snapshots, session management, aka bookmarks for persistent filtering, session info, and we keep adding image resizing, delayed data loading for large dataset. Well, you get the idea. Because at some point, these are not only additive, but having a multiplication effect. And while our intentions are all well and we try to work organized, we may still end up with a mess. And our kitchen, where we make all the magic happens, is also a mess. So I do need my kitchen to be all of these together, specific enough, functional enough, compact enough for fast and easy deployment. And I need it to be unique for my specific needs. But to satisfy all of these needs is not that trivial. What if instead we would have a kit, an out-of-box, compactable kitchen that once opened, we get a commercial grade kitchen. Is this available? Here is the solution. Teal by Pharmaverse. It has everything that we need. So before we dive in, let's look at the format at high level. We have multiple tabs, and for each of the tab at the center, we have the deliverable. Here, a box plot. On the left side, we have the UI that is specifically for this module, the box plot. And on the right side, we have the global filtering. Let's look with better resolution. So here are the box plot. On the left side, we have a UI that says which variable column in our dataset we want to be used for x-axis, for y-axis, for coloring, etc. On the right side, we have the global filtering. We have two data sets that are linked together, subject level and multiple record per subject. We can pick the variable that we want, and it will be applied automatically for all of the other modules that we also have. KMplot, report viewer. And what's really nice about it is that it has all kind of nice features, small features that make it even more user-friendly and accessible. For example, when you select a variable for filtering, you could use the dragging to pick the specific range. When you take snapshots, they are all kind of available to save, resize, that someone have already make it accessible without us need to worry about it. The recipes. There are three packages: Teal Modules General, Teal Modules Clinical, and Teal Osprey, with everything you wish for having as an analytics deliverable designed for clinical trial data, but could also use for other data sets. Here's a common plot: swimlane plot and waterfall plot. If you ever try to write them by yourself, you would know it's not that trivial to have both subject level at the rows and multiple record per subject level as the dots. But here you don't need to worry about it. It's coming out of box. On the left side, we have an example of the utility function for patient profile. And on the right side, you have the module, which is wrapping around the utility function and feed in the input into the utility function, but also has some other parameters for the deliverables, plot height, plot width, and others. For safety, which is a common use case in clinical trial data, here's an example of one of the modules, a line plot. This is just one module. Each of these tabs is an additional module. So altogether, we have at least 10 modules for just safety purposes. But Teal come with many other examples, not just for safety. For example, patient profile, efficacy, longitudinal, RNA-seq, even Python. And each of those domains have its own models. So 10 models here, 10 models here, 10 models here, 10 models here. Well, you get the point. We don't need to worry about them and design them and worry about the how. We just need to worry about the what. Your in-house modules can also be embedded inside the Teal Meta UI. For example, HTML widgets around JavaScript, drill down, drag and drop. These packages could all live inside a Teal module and be plugged and connected to the Meta UI features. Also, multiple steps. So when I was started to introduce to Teal ecosystem, I was definitely overwhelmed by the complexity, and I wasn't sure where to even to start. I wish it would be something more simple. However, over time, when I learned to appreciate it, I came to realize that Teal is not difficult because it's opaque or fragile. Teal is perceived difficult because it's enforced rigor. Once you respect that structure and learn to work with it, you unlock something powerful: the ability to customize with confidence while preserving everything that makes Teal valuable in regulated environments. Couple of Teal fallacies. My Shiny modules are so unique, they can't coexist inside a scoped environment. Yes, they can. It is not so easy to customize and extend. That might be true, but learn to appreciate how to do it in the Teal way. You will learn something on the way. Why should I limit myself to specific Meta UI design? This design was carefully developed and tested by many users with similar needs. If it's good for them, it's most likely also good for you. Oh, but our needs are so unique and specific. Not necessarily. So why I love Teal? It allowed me to focus on the what, not on the how. It was battle tested, state of the art recipes. It has a community support, army of top industry programmers working collaboratively. It's an opportunity to join and contribute back to that community. It has a proven success across top pharma with hundreds of happy users, minimum adoption risk, existing in-house modules can be easily integrated into Teal, and no reinventing the wheel. So, if you ask yourself what type of kitchen do you need and for which task, ask, do I need a designer for a specific kitchen? Or maybe I'm okay with out of box commercialized grade kitchen because it has everything I need, which will also allows me to invest my effort and resources elsewhere. Here's a simple evaluation criteria. Can the tool do the job? Can I trust it? Look at performance, reliability, and maintenance. And of course, the cost. Teal is free. And yet, even though I thought it should be so easy to convince people to use Teal, sometimes I ran into this not invented here syndrome. So, we all imagine we have our cozy home. We like it, we carefully design it. However, at some point, we want to move into a modern, smart house. So that requires some additional wiring, and that's not fun. However, Teal make all of that ready out of box. They've already figured out the wiring and the annotations. So why not just using it? Well, sometimes I ran into something in between. Someone that attempted to redo it themselves just because they think they can. And maybe they can do it. However, it does end up with something that is not as complex, but also not as already been optimized over multiple years as the Teal ecosystem, which gives me some ambivalent feelings. Yes, it's fun to build it from scratch, but if I need to deliver and with limited resources, why not just using the out of box Teal? This is what I call a white elephant, not the game. A white elephant, loosely defined, is a project that was designed with good intentions. However, over time, it was not adopted as planned. So here's example Bridge of Nowhere in California and some circle in Hungary. So I would say that I've seen some couple of let's look at examples of this white elephant in the context of Teal Meta UI. Here's a repo that was actually used for business analytics, and this was created and last updated 10 years ago. It has very similar layout as what we've seen for Teal and with the tabs, and it has a centralized dataset filtering. All nice. So that's impressive that even outside of pharma, users found a need for a meta UI to manage those multiple modules. Another recent example by this company, Pharma, which also have very similar layout, and they're actually aware of the Teal because they built a module that mitigate and pass Teal modules to this platform. However, I'm still not sure why it was developed and who is using that. To me, this is a classic white elephant. To conclude, not invented here, NIH, unless you have unlimited resources, as a biomedical research focused on conducting scientific research. Are you running a software development company? Was that software already invented elsewhere? And if you're not sure and need some guidance, feel free to reach out. Thank you.